everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I'm making a layout for Lottie Loves paper, and I couldn't wait to dive into my new stash using the Kate and Ash collection by Simple Stories. I also have the brother collection, the Bro & Co, but today I am going all pink crazy and going for a really completely crazy layout for me, scrapbooking these two photos of me with Snapchat filters on with fantastic hair. So I have very long hair, and in both of these Snapchat filters they gave me beautifully coloured hair, rainbow in one and pink with a big plait over the top on the other one. So they were great fun. I loved them. I loved how I looked with the different colours. I've always wanted to dye my hair, but I'm always scared to do it. And actually hairdressers have refused to dye it before. So yeah. Okay, so I am going for that paper that is the 2x2 element. So it is a whole sheet of 12x12 paper divided up into 2x2 boxes, and each box has something on it, so an icon or a word or whatever, but it has an awful lot of different things on it. It's a very, very busy paper, and I suppose the idea is probably to cut them all up and use them as embellishments on your layouts. So I thought that I would of course never use a piece of paper as it's intended, and I thought I would chop them all up into their 2x2 squares and layer them back down onto a white background. So right now I'm sorting them out. I wanted to go for light colours at the bottom, then go down to darker ones and finish up with the black at the bottom. So that was my plan, but actually it didn't really work out. It just didn't look right in the different rows with the different colours, the colour blocking. It just didn't look right. I preferred it looking random as it was on the original sheet of paper. Now I wasn't going to spend time working out where each one was originally on the paper, so I just went completely random. So yeah, at the moment I'm just trying to see. I was hoping to fill up the entire page with these squares, and then with the colour idea, they didn't fit right, and then they didn't look right with like 1.5 rows of one colour and 1.5 rows of another colour. It just didn't quite look right. So then I tried these shorter rows, and that didn't look right either, didn't like it. So then now you can see what I'm doing is I'm completely just mixing them back up again, and I'm going to go all different colours in all different places and cover the entire sheet of 12x12 in all of those 2x2 squares that I've just cut up off the paper. Now I have trimmed each one slightly so that they are all slightly smaller than 2x2, and that's how I have white gaps in between my squares. Otherwise I could have just left it as it was on the paper. But I definitely want to leave some white edges, and I'm also going to distress the edges of every single one of these squares as well, and I plan to do some stitching around them too. So I'm just trying to work out if any of my squares need trimming, if they all, because I've done them on a trimmer, sometimes they're not exactly perfect. Some I've taken a bit more off of one side than the other side, so I'm just going through making sure that they all look okay, so they're all pretty even, none that are particularly different to the one that it's right next to, and just going through and trimming off any excess that I needed to there. So that's what I've done. So now I've spent some time distressing the edges of all of them. You can see that every single one has been distressed, and now I've tacked them all in position. So I wanted to keep them as they were, but I want to now what I'm now going to do is stitch around each one, but I wanted to make sure that they came back into the position they were in, so I've put a tiny amount of adhesive on the back of each one and stuck them in place, and then I can just lift them off, sew around them and put them back. So that's what I've done. I've now spent the time stitching. I've already done it off camera, so I've literally gone around each square with my sewing machine. You can't really see it on camera, but when you see the close-ups later you should be able to see it. So the every single square has been distressed, and the sewing has been done around the edge of each one. That took me quite a long time. It was definitely a labour of love, and I've mounted my photos onto a piece of black and white paper that is also from the Kate and Ash collection. And now I'm just going through and adding some embellishments. Now this layout is completely crazy for me. I would not normally do a layout that was quite so busy, but with these crazy photos and this crazy paper, I thought I was just going to go for it. I'm obviously limited with the amount of embellishments I can put on this page because I've already filled up the entire page with squares. So I need to make sure that I don't overdo it with the embellishments, and I'm very good at overdoing it with embellishments, so I need to be careful. So I have just pulled out a couple of flowers that I've put on the left hand side of my photo. I'm adding a little label sticker there as well, and I've also got this rainbow that says choose happy, and that's next to the rainbow hair, so that works well. I've also added some gold thread underneath that cluster to the left of my photo as well. Now I've also added some Bramble Fox hearts to various points around the layout, so I had some white spaces. I felt the need to pull out some of the crazy squares and I've made some white squares, so I've just filled those up with different embellishments and also the Bramble Fox hearts. So I have some yellow hearts and some pink hearts left over, so I thought I would put those in the middle of each one, and two of the squares have got ephemera in, circle ephemera. One says bad hair day and the other one just is a black circle with hearts in, so that's looking good. I've also just added a title using those fabulous foam title stickers that I think are new to Simple Stories. I've never seen them before, although I haven't had the last few collections. And one of the titles was Killin' It, which I thought was pretty cool. There I am, totally killing it in different hairstyles. It's a shame they're not real. I'd really love to have hair like this. So I've put my title in to the right of my photo, and I'm going to add some gold thread under there as well, plus a little pink speech bubble that has got something on it that I will probably never use. Let's see if I can see what it says. It says, I'm beautiful on the inside, and it's a fridge. It's a fridge, not a speech bubble. I'm so not going to put a fridge on any of my layouts. I just use it as a layout underneath my photo. That's what I do with all of my ephemera that's a bit random that I can't use. I just use it as layers underneath my photos, or under embellishment clusters as well. So I'm just making sure my photos are stuck down, just adding some foam pads under the tops of my photos, and I'm pretty much done. I'm just going to write in my journaling into that empty square at the bottom there, yeah, just put a couple of lines, nothing particularly interesting. Totally rocking the hair filters on Snapchat. Wish I was brave enough to dye my hair for real, and the date. So yeah, that is my layout complete. It was a bit of a labour of love, took me a while, and it's completely crazy for me, but it was good fun. Good fun to do a crazy layout once in a while, and it certainly went well with the crazy photos. Okay, so thanks very much for joining me. Make sure you check out the Kate and Ash collection by Simple Stories, available at Lottie Loves Paper. Okay, that was Niki Rowland for Lottie Loves Paper. Bye.